Did you ever wonder how the repaving and diversion of the All-American Canal took place? Starting in 2007, the famous canal was diverted, relined with cement, then refilled. It's a 23-mile-long water delivery project that replaces the unlined All-American Canal with concrete-lined sides and bottom, saving thousands upon thousands of gallons of water every year. Personnel have been able to process tons of dirt and rock to create the necessary cement for this project. It's just one of the many steps that will be taken to line the All-American Canal.
I'm Ken Gilmore. I'm one of the owners of the canal machinery with Arnell Brosmer. I've worked with Bob Brosmer and the organization for nearly 30 years, and I'm a participant in the canal work that the company does. And with me here today is Ron Redding. Ron also has been with the company quite a while, until he retired in recent years. But he's our project manager here. And Ron, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about what you know about concrete paving, and particularly concrete paving in canals.
Well, you got a couple of major problems to paving the canal. One of the big problems, that, as you well know, Ken, is everything is lineal here. Between the trimmer and the liner and the three jumbos and the drive-over unloader and the batch plant consists of a lot of moving parts. And if either one of those things doesn't go, then everything shuts down. It's not like running a scraper spread where if you lose one scraper, you just keep on going. So we come to a halt. Key to the paving and making money is to pave every day. And with that kind of responsibility of keeping everything going, it magnifies the importance of the maintenance. The other thing that we've talked a lot about with our guys here today is quality. Paving is rather unforgiving. It has a nasty habit of getting hard in an hour. And if you don't do the job and do it properly, then you end up having to throw it away. Two specifications that are extremely critical to paving are the strengths and the thickness. And the thickness, we're allowed 1/4 of an inch. And if we're less than 1/4 of an inch in tolerance, then we have to tear the concrete out and throw it away. So quality is very important. We've got a good crew here, and we've got them geared into knowing that that quality is important, and I think we're doing a good job. We haven't had any problems as yet, and hopefully we won't in the future.
Thanks very much, Ron.
This canal has a 50-foot bottom with 1.75 to 1 side slopes, up to 57 feet long, and depths ranging up to 29 feet. Working in this dune sand, the trimmer was very reliable and excavated at an average rate exceeding 550 yards an hour. The canal is in deep cut, which necessitated coming up with a way to dispose of the spoil above the O&M road. For this, we designed and built the arch conveyor, affectionately known as the White Elephant, from salvaged components. It conveyed some 400,000 cubic yards of trimmer spoil to the upper bench, thus keeping the O&M road open for concrete wet haul. One operator operated the trimmer, another operated the arch conveyor. As you can see, trucks pass through the arch conveyor unimpeded. Because dune sand is very unstable and there was a lot of wind, we left 1 foot to be trimmed. 2 cubic yards per foot makes a big spoil pile. Both the trimmer and the arch conveyor were automatically guided from survey set wire lines. Now we are at the batch plant, where we see raw materials arriving and being fed into our Johnson Double 12. We fed the plant with a 6-yard loader at rates up to 500 yards an hour. Let's go inside and take a closer look.
We're in the concrete batch plant control shack. We're presently batching at about 300 yards an hour. We're trying to keep the concrete at about something under 80 degrees. We have an air content of about 4% and a slump at about 3-inch. Jeff Ordone here is our batch plant foreman, and he's also the plant operator. Jeff, what is the 2 or 3, 4 things that you think are most important about keeping this plant up and running and producing?
Well, obviously we want to make as precise a mix as we can. We know exactly what ingredients and what proportions make the finest mix. We have to have backup pieces here. As silly as it seems, if the printer goes down, it shuts the plant down. We have to document every single thing, and it will not make another batch if it doesn't print the last one.
About how much cement do you go through a day here?
Oh, wow.
How many loads?
Well, today we brought in 16 loads, about 25 tons a piece, so you do the math, and we have quite a bit of powder coming in here, and that's just the cement. We also had 4 loads of fly ash come in today as well.
Very good. How's the plant been running recently?
You know, it's like any other thing that has all this abrasive material going through it. It's doing fine, and it has points that need attention, and today seems to be just great.
Might also add that we're presently running at this plant with what we call Super 10s. We're hauling 12-yard. Plant's actually capable of something over 500 yards an hour, which we would use that capacity on airport work. As I said earlier, we're only running at about 300 yards.
Over 25 million cubic yards of material have been excavated. Over 420 temporary groundwater control wells have been installed along the new canal to temporarily lower groundwater near the new excavation, so the canal prism can be properly prepared for placement of the concrete lining. It will take tens of thousands of linear feet of concrete to complete the All-American Canal lining project. The canal is lined with a concrete paving machine that makes 2 passes along the excavated channel, which is about 150 to 210 feet wide at the top and 50 to 130 feet wide at the bottom.
Paving pan mounted vibrating inserters inserted the longitudinal joint material on 15-foot centers. A curb former provides a nice, uniform 12-inch curb. A laborer marks for the transverse joints every 15 feet and sets a block to stabilize the edge prior to the inserter mechanism beginning to insert the transverse joint material. Primary joint consolidation is provided by the vibrating inserter as it advances across the bottom and up the slope. Laborers cut the top fin of the intersecting longitudinal joint material to provide a path for the transverse joint material. A laborer at the curb cuts the joint material and feeds the material to the inserter for the next joint. One operator controls the inserter and drives the machine. A second operator controls the rear-mounted finishing clary. This device assures consolidation around the joints and finishes the surface. Notice the finishers taking a breather and letting the clary do the work. It's not always that way.
Just moving the concrete paving machine from one side of the canal to the other can take dozens of men most of a day to do. In order to accomplish this huge feat, you first have to lift the machine out of the canal and onto a trailer of sorts in order to make the move from one side to the other. This will take the coordination of 2 750-ton cranes and their skilled operators. They work in unison to lift the 80-ton machine slowly out of the canal bed. Once the machine is out of the canal, now it has to slowly and delicately be maneuvered onto 2 trailers. Coordinating this can take several man-hours. The precision involved is very delicate, and any mistakes could damage the paving machine and cause setbacks in the project. Once the 80-ton machine is loaded, it is slowly moved to an area where the big rig can take it and turn it around so that work on the other side of the canal can continue. It's an engineering marvel, the 82-mile gravity flow canal known as the All-American Canal. It begins at the Imperial Dam on the Colorado River, 20 miles northeast of Yuma, Arizona, and runs south and west following the Mexican border to the southwest corner of the Imperial Irrigation District's delivery area. And now a $250 million project will save more than 70,000 acre-feet of water per year. That's enough water to supply about 70,000 average households in a year. It's the All-American Canal.